Welcome to our Korean Health Tech Showcase that Matter is producing in partnership with the Korea Small and Medium Enterprises and Startups Agency, otherwise known as KOSME. I'm Stephen Collins. I'm the CEO of Matter. Matter is a healthcare technology incubator and innovation hub that we built based on a belief that collaboration between entrepreneurs and industry leaders is the best way to develop healthcare solutions. Our mission is to accelerate the pace of change of healthcare. And since we launched 6 years ago, we've worked with more than 600 companies, ranging from very early to growth stage startups. And we have a suite of services to help them at every stage of growth. We have a curriculum with more than 100 classes focused on what a healthcare entrepreneur needs to know in order to build a compelling business. We have mentoring programs that surround entrepreneurs with teams of advisors who provide coaching and guidance. We are thrilled to partner with KOSME to support 5 companies currently from South Korea to advance their solutions in the US healthcare ecosystem. We are working with this cohort of companies for a 6-month innovation program. It's designed to provide resources and mentorship to prepare them for US market success. Each of the companies has a novel solution to help improve health and healthcare globally. And today, each company will present their product and their solution to all of you. Following their pitches, I hope you'll join us for a virtual networking session. So everyone will move into breakout rooms after the main program ends. Before we get started, I want to extend a particular thanks to our partner in this effort, KOSME, especially Vice President Sehung-hee Lee and Director Suk-hwan Lee, Molly Park, Deanna Krishnan, and Ji-yoon Yoon, who have worked with us really closely, every one of them on this program. And now, please enjoy a brief video from KOSME before we hear from Vice President Sehung-hee Lee.
The root of Korea's economy, KOSME took the first step towards the development of SMEs and startups. Over the past 40 years since our establishment in 1979, KOSME has been on a journey of ceaseless challenge, passion, and innovation to help SMEs develop new technologies, achieve management stability, and strengthen competitiveness despite the whirlwind of industrialization. KOSME supports SMEs and startups with bright ideas and technologies, and also creates jobs by supporting them. KOSME improves the form and function of SMEs having growth potential and provides funding support for SMEs to improve their productivity and increase the added value of their products. KOSME also helps SMEs with weakened competitive power stand back on their feet so as to support their management and, as a result, promote their industrial development. KOSME's Policy Fund Service is a pillar of hope for SMEs and startups. KOSME establishes and operates an integrated online export platform in order to actively respond to the digital trade environment. KOSME helps businesses that are new to export develop a foundation for overseas marketing and encourages SMEs with promising prospects for exporting goods to participate in overseas fairs and receive export consultations. As for medium-standing export businesses, KOSME supports them to grow into global enterprises by providing assistance not only with joint investment and technical cooperation with overseas companies, but also with marketing activities and localization in major export target countries. KOSME also supports policy exchange activation and industrial cooperation among APEC member states. KOSME's Marketing and Global Cooperation Service is a bridgehead for Korea's SMEs and startups to advance into the global market. To assist SMEs and startups experiencing difficulties in securing the necessary workforce, KOSME supports the development of technical and functional human resources through industry, university cooperation. KOSME also helps the fostered human resources find jobs and continues follow-up management with them through the SME Workforce Support Center. KOSME fosters human resources of SMEs and startups that will lead the new and digital industries by providing field-oriented management and technical training and establishing a smart, innovative learning platform for response to the changing management environment. As for long-term workers, KOSME provides performance compensation incentives to encourage long-term service and assist in human resource development. Human resource development for SMEs and startups seeks to develop future growth engines to lead the era of the fourth industrial revolution. KOSME fosters prospective startup operators in manufacturing convergence and innovative technological fields into young CEOs with technological competence by providing one-stop support for startup planning, product development, and market opening. While voucher-type customized service is provided to manufacturing businesses with insufficient technological and management competencies, SMEs holding technologies that have not yet been commercialized can receive customized support in terms of technology commercialization planning, market verification, and functional improvement. Based on our devoted efforts over the past 40 years, KOSME has opened its doors wide to the next 100 years. KOSME will be a partner for the success of SMEs and startups up until the day they become leaders of Korea's economic development.
안녕하십니까. 저는 한국중소벤처기업진흥공단 부이사장 이성희입니다. 먼저 오늘 시카고 의료 디지털 헬스케어 수출 현지화 사업의 투자자 쇼케이스를 준비해 주신 메토의 스티븐 콜린스 대표님과 실무 준비를 해주신 조 리스크 사장님, KT 코스코 매니저님, 그리고 참석해 주신 투자자 귀빈 여러분께 진심으로 감사드립니다. 수출 현지화 사업은 현재 계속되는 코로나 상황으로 인해 전 세계적으로 의료와 헬스케어 산업에 대한 중요성이 대두되면서 한국의 우수한 의료 헬스케어 중소벤처기업의 미국 현지 진출을 지원하기가 마련되었으며 이를 위해 동분야의 대표적 스타트업 지원기관인 메터사와 중소벤처기업진흥공단이 협업하게 되었습니다. 중소벤처기업진흥공단은 1979년 중소기업진흥법에 의해 설립된 중소기업 종합지원기관으로 약 1,500명의 직원이 32개 지역본부와 27개 해외센터, 17개 청년창업사관학교, 5개 연수원에서 근무하고 있으며 중진공의 4대 사업인 정책자금 융자사업, 수출 마케팅 사업, 인력 양성 사업, 중소기업 진단 사업을 수행하고 있습니다. 금년에는 연간 6.3조 원 규모의 정책자금을 공급하는 동시에 중소기업의 일자리 창출과 글로벌 진출을 지원하고 있습니다. 특히 워싱턴 DC, 시카고, 뉴욕, 로스앤젤레스, 시애틀 등 5개 거점이 미국 시장 진출을 희망하는 중소벤처기업의 교두보 역할을 맡고 있습니다. 한미 양국의 교역량은 2021년 1월부터 7월까지 134억 달러로 이는 작년 동일 기간 113억 달러 대비 약 18.7% 증가한 것으로 나타났습니다. 이번 양국의 무역교류 증대에 힘입어 이번 수출 현지화 사업은 글로벌 에코시스템을 구축하고 양국 중소벤처기업의 성공 모델을 발굴하는 좋은 기회가 되리라 확신합니다. 일리노이주에서 오랜 기간 정치 입문을 준비한 에이브러햄 링컨은 생전에 나무를 베는데 6시간을 준다면 4시간은 도끼날을 가는 데 쓸 것이다라는 유명한 말을 남겼습니다. 근본 수출 현지화 사업은 총 6개월 동안 진행되며 참가하신 중소벤처기업은 지난 4개월간 도끼날을 갈며 성실히 준비하신 것으로 알고 있습니다. 참가 기업뿐만 아니라 참석해 주신 투자자 여러분께도 좋은 성과 있으시기를 기대합니다. 마지막으로 다시 한번 오늘 쇼케이스를 준비해 주신 메타사의 스티븐 폴스 대표님과 참석해 주신 여러분께 진심으로 감사드립니다. 아울러 한국과의 시차로 오늘 새벽 4시부터 열심히 준비해 주신 메디웨어, 베르티스, 사운더블 헬스, 젠다카디안, 크레도 등 참가 5개사에게도 격려의 박수를 보내드리며 참석해 주신 모든 분들의 간에 건강과 행복이 가득하기를 기원합니다. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Katie Costco with Matter, and I will be moderating today's showcase. In a few minutes, you'll hear from each of the 5 presenting companies who will all get to pitch for 5 minutes each. And following the pitches, please stay on this Zoom meeting. We would love for all of you to join our virtual networking session. So again, please stay on. And so with that, I'd love to open it up to Catherine Song, founder and CEO of Soundable Health.
Hi, I'm Catherine Song, founder, CEO of Soundable Health. As you can easily guess from our name, that we deal with sounds. Even most teams have been working on the medical images. We notice sound and seek digital audible biomarkers at clinical grade to track chronic symptoms. Well, it's not surprising that sounds carry a substantial amount of health-related information, but it was surprisingly significantly underutilized sound information since traditional stethoscope. So in the power of the most modernized AI technology, we reinterpret our the ancient instinct with hearing. So we believe our sound AI technology will help patients and clinicians to make better care decisions timely with full daily picture of symptoms in the most natural, non-obtrusive way. So to decode various sounds, we do not rely on any additional dedicated hardware strategically. We just use the patient's own smartphone. So we capture ambient sounds using a built-in microphone in the smartphone, then analyze them with the AI engines to extract clinical-grade biomarkers. So first problem we solve is home Euroflow test for urological conditions. So Euroflow monitoring here means measuring speed, amount, and frequency of urine for various urological diseases, including enlarged prostate, cystitis, and overactive bladder. So the more than 25 million men suffer from the enlarged prostate, and 5 million office visits are made in every year in the States alone. It's a global prevalence. For bladder diseases, we have over 30 million patients underserved, including my mom and co-founders. Well, the problem is symptoms are very subjective, and there's no objective tool to track the symptoms. Like think about the blood pressure monitor for hypertensives or the blood glucose monitor for diabetes. But in these urology conditions, there's no that at-home objective tool to track. So uroflowmetry and the bladder diary, or on the left side, are 2 widely used established clinical tests to track the symptoms, but have very limited efficacy due to low compliance and intra-patient variability and the limited access. So our AI uroflowmetry with smartphone can cope with the problem easily. So it works very simple. So firstly, the patient records sounds while it's urinating in the bathroom with our app. And secondly, the AI engines analyze the sound and obtain maximum speed, amount, and time of urination. Finally, the app gets back to the patient with the result in a minute. So as a class 2 medical device, that simple solution has been used at the process centers for remote monitoring. Especially in the light of COVID, urology practitioners were intrigued with the technology that enables a physical assessment for their virtual visit at patient's home very easily. So the two interesting findings at our Texas site were, the number one, the zero learning curve to learn how to use the app. And number two, the very high retention rate. The men over 42 with up to 90 years old enjoy using our ProudPed application with no additional, with special training or education. It was so easy to use. 1/3 of them use the app every day, and 1/3 of patients use it every week. So this ease of use and high retention with a phenomenal high retention rate appeal to pharma and medical device companies. So with the who look for the digital companions and digital marketing funnel. So we are in a good business discussion with companies for licensing our technologies out. Also the study discussion with the SaaS-based telehealth and the chronic care platforms to collaborate. Based on our core Sound AI tech platform, we are expanding our offer for the respiratory, pulmonary, and the sleep health as well. So chronic cough, the cough, breath, and the lung sounds carries much information about chronic cough, asthma, COPD, IPF, and many other pulmonary diseases. Also, it can be used for the clinical trials as well. So for example, most of the pulmonary respiratory disease clinical trial use the number of cough frequency of the cough intensity as the primary secondary endpoint. So we'd like to provide the very highly efficient the digitalized clinical trial tools for that. Yeah. So we are in a very good discussion with the global pharma companies to utilize our solution for their clinical trial for their new drugs. We are the Delaware C Corp with the high caliber R&D team in South Korea subsidiary and backed by a world-renowned medical advisors and top VCs. So beyond the single biomarkers and tests, we are building a monitoring platform for better patient-physician engagement. So, and on top of that, digital therapeutic features will be integrated. So we will repeat the same success story for the next indications one by one. Finally, we are in the pre-series A fundraising and the 3.5 million are committed. So we are looking for the rest of the 0.5 million very soon. The proceeds would be used for the building of sales and marketing for the team to reach initial revenue traction within 12 years. That's it for today. Thank you for your attention. And don't forget to download the app with the QR code. I'm ready to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Next up, I'd like to introduce Sam Yang, co-founder and CEO of Xander Cardian.
All right, so if you can see the tiny screen, I'm holding up our sensor. It is about the size of a softball. Basically, this is an impulse ultra-wideband radar technology that senses microvibration from the human body. So in this picture, of course, if you look at the ceiling at the corner, that is how it will look like. But before I explain about the use cases, let me take about a minute to explain how it works. So as I mentioned, human beings, we're always creating some kind of vibration. So if you're moving, you're getting large body motion, and micro motion is coming from your body as you're breathing. So in, out, so breathe in, breathe out. And we're picking that up at about 50 million impulse signature per second. So we get about 100 results. Now the accuracy is plus minus 1.1 MAE compared to Untitled gas mask. We're extremely proud of that. And we're the only one in the world that can get resting heart rate. So if you look at the video, easiest way to understand this is inside the body, the heart is pumping, ba-bum, ba-bum motion, right? And what's happening is it's creating a micro, almost nano vibrational frequency that is felt through the blood, through the skin, and our radar is picking that up. Now, what's difficult is that our radar is able to sense abstract vibrational noise in the environment and also notice large body motion, as well as breathing, as I mentioned, and nano vibration from the heartbeat. Our accuracy is plus minus 3.2 BPM compared to an EKG. So having said that, we're also very proud that April of this year, we got FDA clearance. And the clearance is for resting heart rate, breathing, motion, and occupancy, all four, to be used in general hospital for acute care as well as post-acute care, because we also got residential home for home health monitoring, and all types of nursing homes. So SNFs, MC, AL, IL, AL, CCRCs, all of it. So now we get a lot asked the question, so what's, it's cool, it's unique, but what's it really for? Why do I need to even care about having this type of monitoring solution? Well, first of all, it's continuous, it never stops. In fact, in one overnight 8-hour period, we're collecting about 3,000 to 4,000 measurements. That's a lot of measurements. And it's autonomous, there's no on-off button, there's no, as long as you just plug it in and power it up, that's it, it's contact-free. And in the case of, for example, for SNFs as well as for acute care, right now, even for hospitals, they have to have someone, a nursing staff, to go in, visually look at the chest motion up and down and count how much time they're breathing. Whereas our system, again, is automatic. Now, if you think about that, we're actually able to become the block box for the health events, or dash cam for your car, for example. So how it works is that we don't need to be monitoring all the time. Even if you're out about, let's say you're going on the groceries and there's a certain health event, like heart attack, for example, the physicians can actually go back and say, well, show me what happened the night before. How was his breathing like? How was his motion like? Was he tossing and turning? Was his heartbeat irregular? You can do that and go maybe 3 days ago, 5 days ago, 10 days ago. This is to feed us the data in order for us to do longitudinal predictive health modeling in the near future. So this is our end goal in terms of what the solution needs to do. And again, for acute care, we're providing the continuous monitoring for early deterioration detection. But there's also a lot of focus on post-acute care because, first 30 days, hospital readmission is a big issue. The problem is a lot of the physicians and the healthcare providers, they have a problem with patient participation. You equip them with all kinds of fancy wearable devices. Yes, for a couple of days they may do it, but a lot of times they don't, right? So after a few days, they don't wear the devices, they don't take the measurements and feed the information, submit the information somewhere. Whereas our system, first day you come in, you plug in the power into your wall and beside your bed, that's it. And every single time you're near the bed, automatically detecting. But there's also another angle, which is targeting people with chronic respiratory disease and cardiovascular disease like COPD, pneumonia. So there is an absolute need for continuous respiration rate monitoring as well as heart rate, and that's and it's long-term. Speaking of long-term, we're also focused on long-term care facilities. Especially with COVID-19, there's a big need for staffing. These days, it's almost 1 staff to 30 residents. So the question was, how can a device provide that assistance? How can you deliver equal amount of care, or if not better care, with less staff that they have on hand? And so we have designed a couple solutions. For example, real-time monitoring, which I covered, but this is quite interesting, behavioral health monitoring. So remember, we got clearance for motion and presence. Well, if you look at those two information, now you can say, well, how much motion did they do compared to the other last 30 days? And did the resident move out of the bed, or was a resident bedridden? Did he go out of the room and socialize, or did they stay all day long? These are information where it can soft alert the staff without having to pay attention. And small things such as, hey, Mrs. Smith, can I do a video call with your grandson? Just kind of provide that extra attention. Sleep analysis, of course, has so much impact. We're not doing sleep apnea, although we have 96 sleep apnea OSA testing clinical trials done in journal published. We're currently just doing sleep quality. And another thing that's quite interesting with the motion and presence in the bathroom, we're also getting gastroenterology analysis. So when did you sit on the toilet? How long was it? And that will kind of give information without any kind of privacy concerns. So having said that, our business model is pretty straightforward. $65 a month for 6 months, and after that is pay as you go. And that's it. No installation, no CapEx, just pure OpEx. And we did this because there's also a lot of reimbursements not just the 99454, but there's several others, including for SNFs, scoring systems, because our device is able to provide a lot of the value add and reimbursements and so on. Installation is also very straightforward. We do have professional teams that can go out and deploy. This is our current team. We are hiring a lot right now. We just hired 3 in Alabama and Boston and Toronto. So I'm here now in Toronto to basically boost up our presence and marketing as well. That's our contact info. That's it. Thank you.
Terrific. Great presentation, Sam. Thanks so much. Next up, I'd like to introduce Kevin Choi, CEO and co-founder of MediWell.
Hello, I'm Kevin Choi, CEO at MediWell, and we are offering retina AI biomarker for cardiovascular, renal, and metabolic diseases, could call the vascular-related diseases. So, yeah, we are treating the biggest market in healthcare, the cardiovascular and chronic kidney disease and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This promising product pipeline, and we believe that our solution is the market fit AI biomarker. We're using the retina-based marker, so this is the accessible and accurate, and also the sustainable for those the chronic diseases. And this is not the novel marker following the personalized and preventative medicine trend. And also we have the very competitive, strong evidence and data set. And our vision is prevent the diseases before the symptoms. I was a too young glaucoma patient, and I realized that symptoms are too late with my unfortunate case. And our mission is the window of health for human body. So predict the diseases before the symptom through the eye. Our problem, we are solving this problem, cardiovascular disease, which is the worldwide #1 cause of death and medical cost one. So there's a 2 solution for cardiovascular disease, prevention and treatment, but we are covering the prevention side. So considering the original clinical scenario, there is a personalized cardiovascular risk for risk factor modification based on the blood test. But actually the 40% of the patients is not enough with a blood test to identify the personalized cardiovascular risk. And they have also the other problem, low compliance for intervention like medication or lifestyle modification only using the blood test. So clinicians usually use the cardiac CT scan based coronary artery calcium scoring system. This is the imaging biomarker, and this is also the standard marker for cardiovascular disease prediction following the guideline American Heart Association or European Society of Cardiologists. And there are many evidence this is very helpful in primary care, primary prevention for CVD in many promising donors. But the problem is it's low accessibility because there are some hurdles and some hazard to take it. So our solution is retina-based cardiovascular risk assessment system, RETI-CVD, and this is very market-based solution in the front lines of the care setting. And this is also the one-stop cardiovascular risk assessment through the very simple retina test, retina capture. So our solution is very accurate, show the same accuracy, comparable accuracy with coronary artery calcium scoring system. And this is very accessible because only need the retina imaging, and it only needs 30 seconds to take it. And also this is a very suitable for sustainable checkup because cardiovascular disease is a lifelong time chronic disease. And also we have quite a strong evidence which is published in the Lancet Health, validating our algorithm in multi-ethnicity and large cohort validation. And in conclusion, it showed a comparable accuracy with cardiac CT scan. To go US market, we are looking at FDA clearance with the retrospective clinical trials. And also we are looking for the real world evidence with many authorized cohort data set, cardiovascular diseases. We target we target the primary care setting partners, the pharmacists and digital health partners and ophthalmic or optometrist office. And our revenue model is the monthly subscription based one. As we are a software medical device company, we targeted the $1,000 monthly, but we are also covering the hardware supporting for the for the clinics or for the customers. There is not equipped the fundus camera, the retina camera. So we are looking at our obtainable market, the $5 billion and also we're considering that our total market is $20 billion. Thank you.
Terrific. Thanks so much, Kevin. Next up, we have Richard Lee, Manager of Strategic Planning at Bertis.
So this is Jay from Bertis team, and it is our pleasure to have this presentation today. Let me begin with pain points that arise upon diagnosing of breast cancer. The current gold standard for breast cancer diagnosis is mammography, as you all know. It is radiation ray-based imaging technique to visualize tumor within breasts. However, this one and only method has some drawbacks to it. It exposes 20 times more radiation than that of conventional X-ray. Because it squeezes breast to take the image is painful and disconcerting. Finally, the mammogram gives inaccurate results in dense breast, which is lots of women plus population. Even with these drawbacks, there's no other innovative diagnostic approach for breast cancer diagnosis. On the right side, you can see the public's view on mammogram screening. Lots of women are reluctant to go through mammogram screening and checkups. These women actually said undressing, exposure of body, touching of breast and breast size were related to embarrassment. And they also said, and there's another paper about how women delay mammography due to pain and embarrassment. As you can see, majority of women express shame and repulsion at handling sensitive body part by others and destructive inaccurate mammography that only causes extreme pain. So to overcome some of this mammogram's limitation, Bertis took a different approach, the proteomics approach. Our liquid biopsy assay, MasterCheck, is blood-based assay that detects breast cancer-specific protein markers within patient blood samples. By comparing concentration of 3 different biomarkers within the standard value, our assay can differentiate whether the patient has breast cancer or not. The safe and convenient testing method will improve women's quality of life, as we predict. Because it is convenient, there will be increased number of breast cancer screening, which will also increase survival rate among women within breast cancer. Since we can visualize results even in the dense breast, patients won't have to go through unnecessary second screening, which will reduce the medical expense, we believe. We're expecting our blood assay MasterCheck to improve women's quality of life due to its convenience. MasterCheck uses multiple reaction monitoring method to analyze 3 different protein markers within blood. This approach is what makes MasterCheck very unique. ELISA, the antibody marker detection method, is the most conventional technology at this time and moment. It uses antibodies that specifically bind to peptide of interest. This has high sensitivity and very ideal method for single marker detection. However, here is a problem. Single marker is associated with numerous diseases, making it very difficult to obtain the specificity of the disease at diagnostics level. Cancer antigen markers such as CA15-3 is known to be breast cancer antigen. They are not very sensitive enough to detect early breast cancer. This is because these antigens appear due to other causes. Thus, we combined multiple protein marker to detect cancers. Multi-marker combination ensures specificity of disease. Specific diseases. As I mentioned, ELISA detection is optimal for a single marker detection because you would have to build different types of antibodies that bind to specific markers. To resolve these problems, Bertis uses a multiple reaction monitoring method. mRNA can detect multiple markers at a single test run and can analyze up to 300 markers without any expenditure increase, making it the best model for multi-marker quantification. In 2019, after various clinical tests, MFDS, known as KFD, approved MasterCheck's efficacy and approved its sales in Korea. And Bertis sees MasterCheck's success opportunity in the biggest IVD market in the world as well. We are eager to bring this innovative breast cancer diagnostic solution to US And we set up the headquarters in Delaware and looking to possess a clear lab and undergo clinical study as well as begin an LDT service to see the demand before we getting an approval of FDA. Once the whole package job has been rolled out, we believe we are looking to expand our pipeline to pancreatic cancer, ovarian cancer, as well as cardiovascular and depression to gain a further commercial presence within our market. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Choi Jungkook, CEO of Credo.
Hi, I'm Choi of Credo, and I will introduce the solution of CPR. Name is CPR band. CPR is compressing the chest of heart attack patient at 5 to 6 centimeters at 100 times per minute. Heart disease is the largest cause of death in the world. 23 million people die by heart disease at only 1 year. It is related many reasons, like unbalanced diet, lack of exercise, and population aging. As the number of patients with heart disease increase, the market of CPR training and assistance is growing now. When doing CPR, performing correctly is very important. If accuracy reduced by 20%, chance of survival are reduced by 66%. We need accurate CPR training and CPR assistive product. When doing CPR, 3 factors are most important: angle, depth, and rhythm. We must do our 3 things correctly to do high quality CPR. We want to help people with this simple band. This is CPR feedback device for medical purpose. Provide 3 factors: angle, depth, and rhythm. Both side LED give feedback, depth, accuracy at real time. Beep sound guide rhythm, and we can check our compression angle by application. It also can connect with any smart device using Bluetooth. And this is a watch type, so easy to carry and easy to manage and easy to use because it is wearable device. And it is waterproof, dustproof, so you can use it any tough situation and provide watch and healthcare function also. After the CPR, data transfer to application, and it helped to make more detailed medical report. CPR band for training, main function is same as CPR band for medical purpose. It can connect with smart device, maximum 6 at once, and it provides practice, evaluation, and report, and distance education. This picture shows how to use our CPR band for training. Our medical CPR band has merit than existing CPR feedback devices. Other products are bar-shaped, so difficult to carry, and other products are placed on the patient's chest and pressed by risk's hand. It causes a product shape fracture to old heart attack patients. CPR band for training is the only product provide compression access data. It can use with any mannequin or teddy bear or pillows. So it is the most economical solution to provide high quality CPR training. CPR market is very huge and it grows up rapidly. And importance of accuracy chest compression is greater than before. Our CPR band is the most focused product at chest compression. And it provides the most economical solution for CPR feedback. And we have trademark and patents and many certifications, so we have approached global market now. We are preparing the follow product for people with heart disease. CPR band 2 detects cardiac arrest in people with heart disease and alert itself. And this product can measure the patient's vital sign and conjugate it into big data. And a remote CPR training system will be launched this year. It will be very helpful for CPR trainer. And we will add a CPR function to Apple. So, thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Choi. And thank you to our partner, KOSME, again, for the opportunity to collaborate on this awesome program. And thanks to all 5 companies who presented today.